Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Friday, a little after 9. I'm Leon. He's Jay. What up, Jay?
Hey, what's going on? Happy to be here.
He pulling that 1970 Super Bowl line. We're just happy to be here.
Yeah, it's a great
Remember,
decade.
we used to say that. Remember? Oh, he's just happy to be here. Just look at this guy. He's just happy to be here. Yeah, I remember that. So what's up, Jay? What's on your talking mind tonight?
Well, I was thinking about the so-called super teams of each league. The NBA, baseball, football, people give it all to win 1 year or 2 years. With the Dodgers, with what they're doing, the Yankees.
Oh wait,
So
how do you put the Yankees in that? They ain't done nothing in like 2, 3 years.
they got Juan Soto, one of the best players in the game.
Okay, so you think that's what they're trying to do? And the Dodgers now, they've been to the playoffs the last 10 years.
They won once though.
What you mean the World Champion, the World
Yeah.
Series? Okay, so
To
you're
me, the
saying
championships, that's all that matters in any sport.
championships? That's all that matters.
Yep.
So a team going to the playoffs 10 straight years, that means nothing.
Look at how many teams make the playoffs
Well,
in
I'm
each
just
sport.
asking you. That means nothing in your mind.
Nope. If it was
Wow.
one or two teams or just the division winners, that'd be something. But in baseball, they're getting as bad as basketball and hockey, where they're inviting everybody and then some.
All right. So wait a minute. I want to make sure we understand where we're going with this. So in your mind, if you don't win the World Series, the Stanley Cup, the Super Bowl, the NBA title, you've done nothing.
Correct.
So the Ravens this year, who have the best record in football, could go to the Super Bowl. But if they don't win, they're just as bad as a team that's won 2 games then.
Who remembers the runner up?
So you're saying it's not as good.
Correct.
Okay. So
I'm
all
including my Steelers and the Penguins.
all right. So now and what about your Pirates too?
They never make the playoffs.
They're still your Pittsburgh team. All right. So
They make the
you're
playoffs. They get a parade for making the playoffs.
all right. So your big thing is what's up with these organizations going for 1 year, all or nothing, right? That's what you're saying.
Yes.
So you like it? Don't like it?
I I winning a championship does mean a lot. And in football, the Steelers could do it. The Penguins have tried doing it. Baseball, Pirates, no chance of doing that.
All
But
right.
how many times does a team go all in? And I've experienced that with the Steelers and the Penguins and fall short, losing the first round. It's devastating.
Okay. So you're a proponent of doing it or not doing it?
Not
Which
doing it.
not doing it. All right. So
How about
now
you?
the first time that I really paid attention to it was when LeBron made his big announcement and said, "I'm taking my talents to South Beach." And they also had Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh on that team.
Yep.
And I remember the press conference style thing they had the next day, and they're like, not one, not two, not three, not four. You remember that whole deal. And that first year, they did not win the championship. They did win the next two, and then went to the finals the
Mhm.
fourth year, but did not win. So that was my first that I can really remember that I paid
Yeah.
attention to all in, right? I know Golden State did it when they had Durant,
But
right?
they won before they had Durant, though. Shoot.
That's true. But then they had a little roster shifting and
Yeah.
brought him in again, brought him in, right? So the thing that I don't like about it is there's an imbalance of talent in the league.
Which league? NBA?
Any of them, right? You end up with you're going to have some teams that just aren't as talented. But now someone could argue that you're always going to have a team that's not as talented, right? Um,
Correct.
so do I like to see it? I think if it were one of my favorite teams, I wouldn't mind it. I'd like it. But
I've
then,
suggested your Orioles doing it in one of our other shows, and you were opposed to it.
well, how are we going to do it? With what? I was thinking, you know, my question when we were talking about it with the Orioles was why. Okay, put it this way: if they had the talent and they were going all in, right? I would
Hmm.
hope that they'd win it, and I'd cheer for them and all of that stuff. But I'd rather see them sustain a good team, a competitive team for a longer time. So again, if my team did it, I'm not gonna knock them doing it.
Uh,
But I'm telling you, 2 years later, I'm gonna be disappointed and say, see, we could have had a good team longer. And I think that's what the Orioles are setting up for. My thing is, I'm not as big on winning the championship as you are.
so you're happy with the Orioles just making the playoffs last year, and the Ravens making the playoffs every year, then
It's
be
okay.
disappointed.
Yep. Well, the Orioles a different situation because it's been like what 14, 15 years or whatever since we've
Yeah.
been. I mean, maybe not that long, but since we've been any good. So I can't put them in the same boat. Now the Ravens take this year best record in the NFL right now. If they
Right.
continue that trend, I would hope that they do well in the playoffs. And if they don't, they don't win the Super Bowl, I'm not going to consider it a bad year.
But as in all the sports, the windows are only 2 to 3 years to win a championship. So what do you do? Do you go all in for 2 or 3 years? Like the Rams, what, 2 years ago? It went all in,
Hmm.
sold the draft picks, free agency.
Right?
And they says, but they won. It took them 2 years to get. Now they're decent, so um, they should make the playoffs. But is it worth it in those 2 to 3 years? Because Lamar, he may get hurt next year, or who's your other stars? I can't even think of it. Your wide receiver, the new dude.
Okay. So if they get hurt, that's a part of playing sports. Lamar could get hurt Sunday night.
True.
That's a part of sports. You're going to have injuries.
Well, last year was a disappointment because he did get hurt. What, 4 or 5 games before the end of the year,
Hmm.
where they could have won.
So I want to make sure I understand your position though. You're saying if are you saying if a team appears to be a player or two away from being championship caliber, Super Bowl
Hmm.
contenders, World Series style team, that they got to go get what they need to win this year? Or are you saying um, that? So the question is this a mid-season move or a preseason move that you're saying?
Well, in I'd say preseason, I mean postseason. Like say the Ravens, for example, this year because they are a really good team. If they had a couple injuries, running back, tight end, they think, okay, you know what? If we don't make it this year, we got to go get that big play wide receiver. not an OBJ person. They should have gotten so they get Adam, go out and get Adams. That's just selling her soul. Get Lamar, the one of the best wide receivers in the league.
All right. So you're saying after the season's over,
Mm-hmm.
a team that was almost there should figure out what they need and go get it.
Yes,
All right.
because they only had the 2 to 3 year window.
But now here's my argument against that
Mm-hmm.
is just because that core group of players was good this year doesn't mean all of them are going to be as good next year. And you also have to remember there are other teams with pro athletes that get paid too that could be on their way up, people getting better, stronger, faster, draft picks that they could be as good as or better as that team. So I think when you look at it in the frame of season just finished, what do I need to do? I think that's risky. I think that's a risky move.
So you'd rather do it mid-season.
Now, if I'm going to do it, I'd rather see it done mid-season before the trade deadline. So you're looking at baseball as an example.
Mm-hmm.
The trade deadline is what, July, right? July 31st,
Yep,
right? So, wow, we're really good. We're really good. We're really good. We're a pitcher away. If I get another starting pitcher, a reliever, we can win it all.
that's what I thought about the Royals last year.
Then let's go get it all if we feel that we can do it. But you also have to be careful of what you give up
True.
and how long you keep what you get. So if we give up, we've got the Orioles have a great farm system, right?
Yes,
We give up a bunch of these guys that are playing AAA or younger guys that are playing in major leagues now that everyone's projecting is going to be good. We give up three of them to get one pitcher, and we're only going to have him for 4 months. I don't think that's a good deal just to win a championship. I don't think that's a good deal. I think it has to be fair, long term right. I don't think that's long term right.
true. I didn't. I mean, for the Orioles last year, who was the top pitcher that got traded? I don't remember, but they could have went for a. They had good pitching, but they didn't have the stud. You need an ace in baseball, in my opinion, to win it all. I can't remember who it was last year, but um, now your rookies are getting. They're still coming along, so next year, hopefully, what would you do if they were the same position next year?
If you look at the way our season ended, remember now we had the best record in baseball.
Yes,
We just lost 3 games in the playoffs.
right.
Would a pitcher would not have put us over the edge in the playoffs?
A stud pitcher would have.
He only can pitch 1 game. We lost 3. He's only going to pitch
Right.
one. So he gets us 1 win. Now what? You can't say it would have improved the record. We're already the top record in baseball.
Top
So
record don't mean anything.
but we get 1 win in the playoff with the stud pitcher.
Hmm.
Now what?
You're not
That didn't
depending
help us. That
on.
doesn't help us anything. And we gave up three. We would give up 3 people.
Maybe not. You don't know that.
But they're not gonna. Nobody's gonna get rid of the stud. They're gonna want something for him.
True.
Come on. What are we gonna do? So I get 1 win. I trade for the stud. I get 1 win. Now what?
You could have won the World Series.
How's that one, Jay? It was a 3 out of 5 playoff in the first round, and we lost 3 in a row.
You could have
A
pitched two
stud
games.
pitcher can't pitch all 3 games.
You could pitch two.
It's two days off day followed by one. He can't pitch.
No, if he pitches the
He
first game,
physically can't do it. He pitches first game. He can't come back in 3 days rest.
but your top pitcher, who was your number one, can't remember who that was last year, would be number two. So he would have the biggest burden on going against Who'd you guys
Our,
lose to? Houston or
we lost to the
um,
Texas Rangers.
Raiders? See, they
Our,
went
our
out stud.
we wouldn't have been able. One pitcher would not have made a difference.
If you would have got the guy Texas would have gotten, maybe.
All things considered equal, one pitcher is not going to make a difference in that 3 game series. In the 5 game series.
They could. You're right, but it may have because if you got the
And
pitcher Texas got, they wouldn't have had that stud. You would have had the stud, so their pitching would have been worse than yours.
that's a lot of hypotheticals. And again, my argument was, I remember we talked about this then. My argument was, so what? We win a championship. Now what?
You have more revenue, more fans. You that soak section came mid season. That'll be all next year. You'd sell out all your games again, like you did when Camden Yards first opened.
And the Orioles would do that anyway based on them making the playoffs this year and having good season like they did. Season tickets, second ticket sales are going to go up. World Series or not. That's
Yeah.
what my argument, one of my arguments was.
Now, would you go sign this other Japanese pitcher who wouldn't cost you anything but money?
If I'm the Orioles, no,
Yeah. Why?
no. Why do I need him? Remember, I
He's
had
your
the
number.
best record
He's
in
your ace,
baseball.
though.
I had the best record in baseball last year. I
And the
had the best
Phillies,
record in baseball. I don't have to spend a lot of money.
not to get the stud that don't cost you anything but money.
That's
When you're
enough. That's
your
enough.
younger players don't have big contracts yet, so you got another stud coming up at shortstop. So you sign this pitcher for like 3 or 4 years. Where young players aren't making enough money, you could win a couple championships.
I wouldn't do it. Wouldn't do it. Not with the Orioles the way they are positioned right now.
Really?
And
Okay.
even the guy that they signed, you told me this, that guy's on his way down. The reliever that we got from Philly.
Yeah. I didn't say reliever. I said starter, an ace.
What's wrong with our starters?
They're good, but they're not studs.
We have the best record in baseball last year.
Yes. But what does that get you? Playoffs.
Okay. If I get a stud for the whole season, that doesn't get me that doesn't do me any good. I don't get any gain in that other than playoffs still.
He could be, but I, I believe you have to have an ace. Not
Best
that.
record in baseball. Folks, if you want to join us, somebody come on here and help knock Jay around a little bit. He's talking about you gotta have an ace and gotta spend money and da 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 da. Send me an email, Leon at theleonthomasgroup.com. Come on in. We don't have to talk about baseball. In fact, let's change gears here, Jay. Let's talk about Network Referral Group and Mike Weiner.
Okay. Great show.
Yeah, great conversation with Mike. Mike's runs one of the best networking groups around. To find out more about him, go to nrg.online to find out more about Network Referral Group. What Network Referral Group is a business networking organization where you attend weekly meetings and everyone leaves the meeting with warm contacts and warm leads, which means this. One of the things that happens in an NRG meeting is you play a game called pinball, which means you ask others in the meeting for recommendations on folks that you are looking to do business with. Companies, named accounts, right? And Mike, you'll have to come on and tell us what PIN stands for because people, industries, and named accounts. There you go. right? So you leave with information that's a warm lead, not just a, oh, here's a name I found on LinkedIn, but a, hey, I have a friend, I know a guy that works for, give them a call type things. And he's got some pretty good offers here, pretty good contests running. If you go to nrg.online, you can find out more about that. Jay, you were the co-host on the show this week. What did how'd that show go? And he was telling me some things about it, but you may have more information on it.
No, the guy actually got 23 referrals like in a couple of days from Mike. That's how hot
20
it was. He only
23
guarantees
referral.
three, but he
Yeah,
got
yeah.
23.
Wow, that's hot.
Yeah, no, it is, and it's a great way. I mean, the old way of networking is go out, shake a few hands, have a few beverages. Nah, that's nothing anymore. It's all like this. We're text, email, phone call, whatever. People could be online. His Zoom conferences are great.
Hmm.
I forget how many he says he does a day. Um, like, up, gotta go. Got another Zoom.
Yeah. He's also has, this is a nationwide organization, folks, so you can live in Maryland and do business with someone in California.
Yep.
It's not like the old networking where you're only dealing with people in your backyard,
He
right?
said he's up
So,
to like 17 states now,
is that right?
I
Wow.
think.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So, to learn more about Mike Weiner and Network Referral Group, go to nrg.online, and I'll put in Mike's phone number as well, because I happen to know it.
He actually prefers you to text him.
Yeah, go ahead and text him right there at 443-756-9656. Tell him Leon and Jay sent you. Send him a text right now if you're watching 9:32 on the East Coast and you haven't said you wanted to join us. All you do is send me an email and I'll bring you right on the screen. And send me an email, I'll send you a link. But there's the number 443-756-9656.
People could just
All right.
make a comment. They don't have to email you. Comments are right there.
Yeah, they could, but then they could say, "Hey, Leon, I want to be on the show," but then I got to send them the link.
True.
I got to send them the link. How am I going to get the link? But listen, what else you want to talk about, Jay? We got like 2 minutes to go. What else? What else you want to come up with other than you got to win the Super Bowl or you're no good? You got
I
to
think
win
the
the
Super
NBA
Bowl,
title, huh?
NBA title, Stanley Cup, you know, they're all important.
All right. So let me play this game with you then, since we're playing hypotheticals. I'll just say, let's say you are a team owner,
Okay.
all right, and it's mid-season,
What league?
and what you tell me, what team would you like to own? What league would you like to be in? What league? NBA?
Let's do baseball since that's the
All
most
right,
challenging one.
baseball. All right, so you're the owner. I mean, you are the owner. There's
Okay.
nobody else. It's you. You're the owner, and you have a person that's your field guy, your field manager, and you have your general manager, right?
Hmm.
Your field manager and your general manager come to you in mid-July, and they say, we are one player away from, if we get this one player or this type of player, we can win a World Series. Are you going to authorize them to go get that player?
Yes.
All right. So they get that player and they don't make it to the World Series. Are you firing the coach and the field manager and the general manager?
No.
But you're disappointed you didn't win the championship. They told you, go if we go get, we're gonna win.
But I'm not a person that just base it on 1 year to fire my coach or GM.
So how many years?
Baseball, say 4.
So you loaded them up with all the players they want, and in 4 years they're not winning a championship. You're getting rid of him.
Yes.
Hmm, okay. Well, what if they win a World Series and then the next year they don't make the playoffs? Then what?
He's bought himself probably 5 additional years.
Winning that World Series bought him some time. Then is what you're saying.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Just wanted to
Just like
under.
when the Nats won the World Series, that manager before they won it was on the cusp of getting fired. They got the players. They needed to win the World Series. They won it, so he's still the manager. Where he could have been fired mid-season that year.
Hmm.
So
Okay. Just wanted to get your perspective on it. Just wanted to hear it.
I
And
wouldn't.
Jay has shared it, folks. His perspective.
That's my 2 cents worth.
That's your 2 cents worth. All right. There you have it, folks. That's Jay's 2 cents worth. And we appreciate it. We appreciate it. All right, Jay.
I'm gonna ask you about
What else? What else you gonna ask me about?
prediction for the weekend. Ravens. What are they gonna do?
Playing in Jacksonville, in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. How many Ravens team members are from Florida? Let me just run that through the Google real quick. How many? I can't get an exact quick count, but I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say the Ravens will lose
Brilliant.
to the Jaguars.
Why?
I'm going to say that Lamar will play a sluggish game because they're going to go down there, down to Florida. And what's going to happen is they're going to be spending extra time with family and all of that stuff. And their heads are going to get really, really big. They're not going to get the rest that they need. And they're going to lose.
It's not. I mean, I could see maybe if it was the Christmas weekend where people are worried about Christmas and not being at home, but I think they're gonna win this week.
So you're saying the Ravens are going to win.
All right.
All right, we've got this on video. And who the Steelers have this week?
The ex Baltimore team,
So they're going against the
the
Colts.
Colts. Yeah,
I don't know anything about them.
they got
I'll
a better
say
record. No, actually, they don't have a better record than the Steelers, but
I'll say Tomlin will win.
actually, there's a rumor out there that they may trade Tomlin.
Trade him to who?
There's a rumor out there. The Commanders are going to fire
What?
Rivera, trade Tomlin, hire Bieniemy as the coach.
What?
Yeah,
Come on. Where did you hear this rumor?
it's one of the Steeler podcasts. I won't mention it.
Wow. Interesting.
One coach got fired today.
Yeah, the LA Chargers.
Give up 61 points.
That's one game.
Yeah.
But they were horrible though, weren't they? I don't know anything about them.
After we got off our show, I looked at the score, it was 35-0. It's like, what's the use of turning it on?
The Chargers are now 5-9. Oh well.
We say maybe Belichick will go there.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. All
Yeah.
right, Jay.
All right, man.
Hey, we're on tomorrow with recording for Dr. Cedric Brown, right?
Yep, 9:45 from the
At what
80s
time?
view.
What time again?
9:45
9:45 Eastern
a.m.
recording AM of From the AD's View.
Yep.
9:45. I shall see you then.
All right,
Everybody,
cool.
thanks for watching. Join us on Monday. See you now.
Have a good night, everybody.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.